is the liberal premise?
I guess the Rousseau notion, that man is born free but is everywhere in chains, that the real problem of the world is that the institutions are wrong. If the institutions were right, then there was nothing in human nature that would cause us to be unhappy. It's the fact that we have the wrong institutions.
What is the conservative premise?
That man is flawed from day one, and that there are no solutions, there are only trade-offs. And whatever you do to deal with one of man's flaws, it creates another problem, but that you try to get the best trade-off you can get, and that's all you can hope for. I've often said there are three questions that I think would destroy most of the arguments on the left. And the first is, compared to what? The second is, at what cost? And the third is, what hard evidence do you have? Now, there are very few ideas on the left that can pass all three of those kinds of things.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the show for a lovely Thursday morning. I thought I would deliver a little bit of a headliner for you to come in fresh for the day. A little bit of Thomas Sowell, the God King himself. How are you all? Well, it is Thursday. We made it to this part of Thursday, and it's been a largely uneventful week for the most part. I haven't really had much to talk about on here. We had Keating one week, and then we had Lydia the other week, and then last week we had Latham, and remember the Nazis? Remember the trainee Nazis? Yeah, things have been getting wild, but this week's been a bit slow. So things are taking it's. There's a disturbance in the force. I feel there's something going on. There's something not right at the moment. Anyways. As usual, I come down in the morning, turn on Twitter, go to the For You tab, and start scrolling. And I react to what happens in the For You tab. The For You tab is just a new thing that Elon brought in. It's an algorithmic feed for Twitter users to use. I don't know how it works, but it throws up some really weird shit. And it's funny. It's hilarious. I love seeing it. I see different groups, different organizations, different little interest, like little hobby groups, little interest groups and things like that. Like there's the whole, I didn't know these people existed, but there's the whole anti-car people. You know, these anti-car people, and they're out there and they're trying to ban cars from everywhere. All the cities ban cars, all of them banned. So you have the ban car people, and they're sort of closely related to the cyclists. The cyclists are another little cult group that's out there. And especially the cyclists who record themselves riding, and then they try to dob on everyone that they see doing something wrong. These are weird little groups. I didn't know they existed before, but here they are. They were buried on Twitter the whole time, and it took Elon to come up with the For You tab for me to find them. And fuck me, I'm so grateful for that. It is hilarious. Anyways, going back to our feed, I got to get there for the day. I'm going to jump in. Where do I go? Profile. I'll just go to the home. Actually, I got some notifications here. Oh yeah, blah 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 blah. Let's go home. Let's see if I can load this up. 35 new tweets. Let's roll, people. Let's see. Fresh off the bat, Steve Noble. Wow, that's good luck. Look, I got Steve, Charles, and Allegra Spender. Fuck me, how did that happen? Jesus. Okay, you guys can't see Allegra. She's just down below here. Look at this. Here she is here. Oh no. Okay, anyways. Back to the thing. As Thomas Sowell said at the start, 3 questions for liberals. What evidence do you have? How much will it cost? And compared to what? And they're always good to keep in mind whenever we're dealing with it, whenever we're putting the waders on and we're getting into that swamp. Whenever we do that, it's good to keep those 3 questions in mind because they come up a lot. And they tend to, differentiate between a good response and a terrible response. Anyways, let's get into it. Steve, how can you be accused of rejecting a model that doesn't even exist yet? I think what Steve's talking about here is, it's not Donald Trump rejecting a future beauty pageant queen. No, it's actually, I think it's The Voice. Remember The Voice, people. I think it is such a slow week this week. There's not really much happening that I think The Voice is finally getting its voice, if you know what I mean. So, let's see. How can you be accused of rejecting it? I think yesterday, here we go. Charles Haig, what are you on about? PM Turnbull said a voice to Parliament would be contrary to the principles of equality and citizenship. The man stands for nothing. Always has. Exactly. Of course, Turnbull does a backflip. You know, once again, this is on The Voice, by the way. This is all on The Voice because yesterday Peter Dutton came out and said, no, we'll go for recognition. I agree to recognition. I actually personally agree to recognition, so Dutton's on board with me there. Just not in the Constitution. I don't want this voice thing. We can have recognition, but the other side of it, no. That's where it gets fucked. You know, that's where it gets messy. That's really bad. That's not good. That's where the grift comes in. The original intent is good. What they've come up with, nah, not so good. I don't care how many people they had in their little working group, committee, round table, town hall, whatever it was that they've had. They've done the process. So they think involving themselves in a process where they exclude people who don't toe the line. They push through with the narrative, but they think if they follow the process, then you must follow it too. No, that's not how things work. I could sit and have my little round tables, my discussion groups, my town halls. We could do this for 10 years, and it doesn't mean that you have to follow me. It doesn't mean that you have to believe exactly that everything that I've done. And that's basically where we're at now. They've played this little game, like they've had this little fantasy world going off in the distance for a long time. While real Indigenous issues have been present, they've been off in this fantasy world, creating this whole little structure in their own little world. And you want to be in our club? Well, you can join, but you got to accept this list of things. And no, now they just, all Albo did was to bring his 32% of primary vote into the whole conversation and say, well, I'm going to push this through because, you know, my wife. Anyways, I'll leave it there. Anyways, Charles Haig. Yes, Charles, 3 questions. What proof do you have? How much will it cost? And compared to what? How does The Voice change anything compared to what we have now? It doesn't. How much will it cost? Unfucking known. At the moment, we're spending about $30 billion a year. I think the Productivity Commission came in with. That's a lot of money. Okay, so it's going to cost more than that, obviously, because, you know, the $30 billion a year isn't enough. Compared to what? Exactly. Where this, and what evidence do they have? Noel Pearson had $100 million for Aurukun up in the Cape. Right up the Cape. He had a little town, the little town of Aurukun. That's not even very big. It's a township. Let's call it a township. Way off in the distance, isolated community that he had control of. $100 million to fix, and nothing happened. It went downhill. Nothing improved. Noel Pearson had the test case. That is the evidence. What evidence do you have that Noel Pearson's going to do any better with $30 billion? There is none. All that it's going to do is it's going to cost double, it's going to be in there, and it's not going to be effective. That's all. In the meantime, people at Aurukun are still getting their heads cracked in with rocks in the middle of the night. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so I think I'm getting my voice rant out now. Anyways, let's continue on. Allegra Spender. Hollow, no, I don't care. Marcia Langton's one of the most hateful people in the entire of Australia. A whole life of misery and hate. Nothing but misery and hate. Why? Why would we listen to her? Why? I have no... Okay, I can respect Marcia as a woman, as an Indigenous woman, blah, 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 whatever. I can respect her as a person, as a human being. But I have no responsibility owed to her opinion. None at all. I don't care. She could be off in, once again, they're off in their fairy world, running around in their own little created imagination world, imagination land. I've got nothing. I don't owe her anything. I don't owe her little imagination world anything. I'm sorry. No, I can have my opinion too. And, you know, I'll go for recognition for sure. Let's do recognition. Let's put it in the Constitution. Let's do that. The Voice? Nah, sorry. I don't think Marcia Langton is... I don't know. I can't really say too much. But I wouldn't trust her designing a business plan to start with. So I wouldn't trust her to build anything else. She's an evil mean, just angry, bitter leftist. No. We can do recognition, Marcia. We can do that. We'll meet halfway. We'll do recognition, but no voice. If you want a voice, we can do that through Parliament. Yeah, sure. We'll establish one in Parliament. That's fine. Stay away from the Constitution. Your crazy little fairy world doesn't exist in the Constitution. No. Sorry. I don't care. I don't care what you say. It's not going to change my mind. You don't put racist hate into the Constitution. You just don't do that. Okay? Let's continue on. Allegra Spender. No. Scott Phillips. I'm actually getting around to... I really like this guy. Scott, you're a great dude. I love it. I love your analysis. I love your work, your insights. You're very balanced, which is cool. I like that. Yeah, I think you're a bit of a voice of reason out there. I really like you had a tweet, a bit of a conversation going the other day. It was probably on the weekend, and you were saying how everything is so partisan now that, you know, that you can't just have... you have to have all or nothing, basically. You can't have a mix of, you know, in-between solutions or anything like that. It's got to be all or nothing. And I think, like, you highlighted that perfectly, especially when it comes to the electricity grid and the way things, you know, our approach to different technologies. You know, we've just gone fully in on wind and solar, and we've just ignored everything else. It's very similar to what we're dealing with the voice. It's like, you either have all of this or nothing. You're either with us or you're against us. It's the same thing, Scott. And I think, like, I'm really warming to you, dude. I think you're cool. Anyways, let's have a look at what you're saying here. I don't know what comes next, but that it's almost always the edge cases that matter. Most of us don't lose our jobs in a recession, but the recession is still bad for the overall economy. The vast majority will meet their repayments. Some won't. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It is on the fringes. People can adjust. These are costs going up. People can adjust their budgets. There will be a small fraction who cannot do that, though. You know, like it's very likely you'll have people making their repayments. They'll be making their repayments, but they'll still be at the food bank. You know, it's a sad state of things. Scott, I haven't checked, Mr. Scott Phillips, sorry. I haven't checked what your opinion is on the interest rate rises. But my guess is that this is just a slight pause. This is going to go up. This is going to go up as soon as we get those fucking migrants in here, man. We're going to have these migrants coming in. I think that the housing industry itself is bracing basically for impact. It's this is going to be a mess, Phil. I don't think interest rates are staying here. I think they're going up. I have a level at about 4.8, you know, 5.2, 4.8, something like that, before they really, you know, start flattening out. Anyways, let's go on, Scott. Welcome to the show. Anyways, let's go on. Charles Haig. I bet Rachel hasn't ever visited a remote Indigenous community. A remote Indigenous community for Rachel is probably, you know, Parramatta Centrelink office. That's probably it. I don't know. Where else would Rachel have any contact with anyone outside of, like, the Guardian office? Seriously, do you think Rachel gets invited to many parties? Do you think this is really the life of someone who's, like, well-adjusted and settled? I don't think so. But this mindless hyperbole is just idiotic. Oh, I can't say hyperbole. I've got to say hyperbole, don't I? Okay, so it's hyperbole. Let's have a look. Oh, no, Rachel would... Oh, no, it's Dutton. Ah, Rachel's time of the month again in the monthly. Ah. Anyways, it's clearer... I got to do a Rachel voice. I don't know. I've never heard her speak. How would okay. I'm just going to do my normal voice. It's clearer than ever that Peter Dutton is exactly who he always seems to be. A heartless, cynical man who does not give a damn about Indigenous Australians. You either take everything or you have nothing. Thanks, Rachel. Brilliant analysis here. He don't give a damn about Indigenous Australians, except insofar as they can be used to further his political ambitions. What the fuck is the voice? Really? No. Okay, Dutton, you know, he's made a good compromise here. He said, yeah, we'll put you into we'll give you some recognition, but the voice can stay at the legislative branch. That's where it should. That's where it belongs. The voice belongs in Parliament. That's perfectly reasonable. Not for Rachel. Oh no. It's either all or nothing. How do you deal with these people? Once again, I don't think Rachel goes to too many parties. I don't think he gets out of the Guardian office too much. Even in the Guardian office, you can imagine like someone cringes and they're all like trying to avoid like getting her as the Secret Santa, because they know no matter what they get her for Secret Santa, it's going to end up in her time of the month. It's going to come out. It's not going to be good. Anyways, let's go back. Greg! Greg's back. Let's have a look, mate. When they send you out to chew down the shit sandwich on national TV. Okay, so they got Simon Birmingham told ABC News Breakfast. So Greg thinks it's a shit sandwich because it's either all or nothing. You can't be in between. So if you're somewhere in between, it's a shit sandwich. You can't have that, according to Greg. This is Greg. Anyways, let's go on. Simon Birmingham. Really? I don't find Simon Birmingham not impressive at all. No. Okay, cool. If I was Pete Dutton, I would have sent out, not Simon Birmingham, I would have used, I don't know, who's someone that they really hate? Oh, so you can't use Corey Bernardi anymore, can you? I would have just sent someone out and just attacked Marcia Langton. I would have come out. Noel Pearson and Marcia Langton are going to sit there all day and they are going to attack everyone who disagrees with them. Everyone. I've mentioned it before. Marcia Langton can be very civil, very nice. She can be very well spoken until someone disagrees with her. And then it just switches. There's a switch in her mind that just goes fucking snap. And she turns bitter and nasty. It's just it's a thinly veiled, it's a thinly veiled pretense of civility. It's just sitting there. But you one little disagreement, and bam. Out. They're going to sit there. Noel Pearson and Marcia Langton are going to sit there on their little perch that they've come up with their fairy world. They're going to sit up there on their little crown in fairyland, on their throne, their throne in fairyland. They're going to be looking down on anyone who doesn't look and give the reverence that they deserve. They are going to be attacked. And that's what we see. We see Noel Pearson coming out just attacking anyone. Marcia Langton's going to come out and attack everyone. Do it ourselves. Dutton, send someone out. Who's someone they really hate? Who they really got? Matt Canavan. No, Matt Canavan's too smart, and they don't really hate him. Abbott would be good. Is Abbott still in Parliament? No, he's not. Oh fuck. Okay. Who else is there? There's no one in New South Wales really. They're all too soft. Is there someone in South Australia? Maybe there's someone in South Australia. About Western Australia, Andrew Hastie. No, he's going to be the future Prime Minister. We need someone who can just get down, who's used to copping flack, and who's going to go in there and just all guns blazing. This is where you need Jackie Lambie. Lydia. This is what you need Lydia to. Dutton should go out and find Lydia and get her riled up. give her a six-pack. Get in there with a couple Bundy and rums. Oh, get that Bundy going and rile her up. Yeah, really stir her up. Get her going and then just pull the chain off and let her go. That's what he should be doing. He should be letting. This is what needs to happen. This is what needs to happen. We need to get Lydia jumping in on Marcia's press conference, throwing herself on the ground and crawling around on the mud. That's what we need. And then on top of that, we need Latham to come running in and hose her down with the fire extinguisher, something like that. You flaming galah. Something like that. Anyways, I don't know how Latham turned into Alf Stewart, but. He did. Deal with the people. That's what we do here on this show. Stephen Jones once again complaining that the Liberals aren't doing what he would do. Bravo! Coalition mismanagement of inland rail projects leaves $31 billion cost blowout. Tell me again how good the Libs are at managing money. As terrible as they are, Stephen, they still have a better reputation than you. So you're not doing anything. You're just saying that, yeah, they're really bad, but, they've still got the reputation. We don't. Deal with it, Stephen. Shit. Okay, yeah, this is a good example though. Okay, let's get away from Stephen like self-own here. But what about the Snowy Hydro? What about the desal plants? What about the NBN? What about Pink Bats? All these projects. This is a bipartisan issue of failure. We've had this for a while now. It doesn't matter what. The NDIS. Let's look at that NDIS. The Voice. Fuck me. It's all just gets blown out. What possibility do we have to actually save money and deliver things on budget? There is no incentive structure there for that. None. It's just the only incentive that's available is, oh, we made a mistake, let's make it bigger. And then make it bigger. And then we end up with 44 billion on the NBN instead of fucking 4 billion. And what's Snowy Hydro at now? Snowy Hydro. My mate Benny that I was talking to, he made an interesting point about Snowy Hydro. Anyways, I'm going to continue. Stephen Jones, thanks for the cell phone. Let's continue. Okay. Where are we? Evelyn Ray. I like Evelyn. See, I liked her tweet the other day, and now she pops back in all the time. So that's something to do with the algorithm they've got. Anyways, let's see. Christian con ladies. Okay, I like how she says conservative ladies, because, you know, there's those weird Christians, the Presbyterians. Anyways, Christian con ladies, you do need to thirst trap men and say one-liners about gun rights and anti-government rhetoric to prove that you're worth marrying. Show men with how you live your life that you are virtuous, wholesome, motherly, and respectful, and he will see your worth. Yeah, ladies, you don't even have to go that far. Evelyn, you've done a great job. You wrapped it all up nicely here, but there's no need for that. No need for that at all. The only thing women have to say, first date, if they like the guy though, if they're serious about the guy, like this is a guarantee. This is better than any guru, any love tip, anything you could ever get, any pickup line, nothing. Women, if you actually like the man and you want things to progress and you really view your situation with this man as a long-term thing and you want him to be interested in you, 3 words. Taxation is theft. That's it. You just say, you know what? I believe taxation is theft. Done. You'll be hitched. You'll be married. 4 kids. Nice farm. White picket fence. You'll have everything. He will bend over backwards to look after you. Just those 3 words. Evelyn, we don't need all... This is nice. This is good. But we don't need it. We just need taxation is theft. Done. Deal. That's all. That covers almost every tick box that I've got looking for the ideal partner. That covers it. All of it. Anyways, Evelyn, I love your work. I hope to see you around here. I'm going to like this again just so you pop back in again. Done. Good as done. Thomas Mayo. It's a funny name for a black activist, though. Like, I'm sure he didn't choose his surname. Mayo? Am I the only one that finds that funny? Anyways, is there anything whiter than mayo, really? Is there anything white? Is there anything more white culture than mayo? Chris, you got to back me up on this one. What about a mayo sandwich on white bread? Is that probably the most white supremacist thing we could do? Is that like the... If we had a white Australia policy and they're like, oh, you got to prove yourself, you're one of us now, and it's like, yeah, I go, and they give them a white bread sandwich and it's got mayo on it, nothing else. That's like, you got to eat this, bud. You better like it too. We're watching. Do you reckon that's like? Anyway, I'm getting off track. What's Thomas Mayo got to say? I'm sure it's not important, but let's do it. A voice to a Parliament handbook. All the details you need. Pre-audio signed copy. A voice to Parliament handbook. All the details you need. You reckon it's not a grift, people? I'm telling you now. The Voice is not a grift. Don't worry about... Yes, he's selling books. And yes, his name is Mayo. And yes, no, that's not related. But it's not a grift. Definitely not a grift. Fuck off. Oh my god. Anal, save me. Where's the good photos? Has Anal done any good photos today? Anyways, every member of the government is privileged to count the father of reconciliation as a colleague and a powerful source of wisdom and inspiration. Along with all Australians, we send Senator Dodson our best wishes for strength in the battle ahead. What's he doing? Is he fighting kangaroos? Is he fucking getting into the Emu War Part 2? What's he doing? Is he get sick? Oh, that wouldn't be good. I don't really know Dodson that much. I know he's like the kangaroo fur that Albo likes to wear around the place, but I don't know too much about him. But if he's sick, yeah, I'm fully with you, Dodson. You need me to sign up for this kangaroo war or the Emu War Part 2? I'll be there, bud. Just let me know. Anyways, Garth. Which I just can't take this cunt seriously. I just can't do it. It's some of the hot take. Charles, I know Charles Haig often has confrontations here. I don't. I can't take this cunt serious. I just can't, people. I can't. Cause look how serious his face is. Look how serious that is, people. Cause. Oh, sorry. I was going to say I'd like to have a beer with you, Cos, but I don't even think I could get through it. I don't think I'd just be disrespect. I'd be laughing too much, man. I'm sorry. I can't even get through this tweet. I can't do it. I gotta be like Carl Benjamin. Sargon. There was no cover-up, no denials, no counsellors working to silence the victims, and nobody being censored on social media for covering it. It seems that the justice system is working as intended when it is a grooming gang of white people. Yeah, that's true. I did see this grooming gang yesterday. The grooming gang in England. This is fucking the craziest shit. And as he's making a good reference here. No cover-ups, no denials, no counsellors working to silence the victims, and nobody is being censored. That's what's happened with the grooming gang so far. That's why you haven't heard about it until a whole bunch of white guys are caught doing it. Then you're going to hear it. It's going to be back to front page. It's going to be everywhere. Get it in here, hanging out here. It's going to be all over the place. Rotherham was a mess. I don't know why. Does this happen anywhere else or just England? England's got this grooming gang thing going on. Jesus. Gray. Guess what, everyone? Gray unmuted me. He did it yesterday. James told him to unmute me, and he unmuted me because James is the Lord and Savior. No, actually, that's Thomas Sal. What would James be? James is the Prince in Chief. There we go. The Prince in Chief. Genuinely feel sorry for Greg. A good guy who has tried his best for a worthy cause amid sheer lunacy and an activist media that is mostly illiterate about basic civics. I'm not saying it's Rachel, but it's kind of Rachel. And will just not face up to the obvious constitutional problems in the current model. There are some obvious constitutional problems. Everyone, I'd recommend. Gray did a space today, I think. Actually, it's only 9 o'clock here in the morning. So you guys are already, you're time travelers. You're already ahead of me. So, but he did a talk today. Have a look. You can find it on his account. He did a space on Twitter where he was talking about the constitutional issues involved in The Voice. Gray is a great person. He's a great asset for common sense. He's a great asset for anyone who believes in honesty and looking after people in the best way possible. Gray is the best ambassador we could have for that. Great guy. Listen to the space. I haven't got around to it yet. I'm going to do it on my, I'm going to go out for a run. I'm going to do it then. Somewhere up in the forest, the lovely dulcet tones of Gray Connolly explaining the finer details of constitutional amendments. I love it. Nothing better, people. Let's continue. Thanks, Gray. Hi. Joe. Wow, PVO 2.0. See, that even rhymes. Jill's good with this shit. PVO 2.0. That's who she's calling Andrew Clarnell on Sky News, just in case you don't know. Is saying someone leaked to him that Julian Lesser is not happy with the decision. Wow, big call. Then he says Susan Ley is going to go for the top job. Wow, I think little Sky News boys are getting a bit carried away. Two things in here. I wouldn't listen to this leaked thing from Julianne Lesser. No, I would disregard that. But Susan Ley going for the top job? Yeah, I think she's good for it. I think she'll be good for the top job. I really think she will. Plus, I'd love to see Albo attack her, and then her get up and give a misogyny speech to Penny Wong. That would be great. I'll not take lectures from that Wong. That would be awesome. Okay, let's go on. Kimberly Kitchen, Jesus. Anyways, let's go on. Why is Bridget Archer still in the Liberal Party? Great question coming from the left. Why does the left ask these fantastic questions? Why? Yeah, brilliant. The Twindenberg, I think, John Kudelka. Okay. Why is Bridget? This is a great opportunity, really. Like, Dutton should be there at the bottom of the tree, just shaking the fuck out of it. All the loose apples can get out, and we're just going to keep the good ones. You know, that's how you get a good crop for the year. You don't. It's not the amount of apples on the tree. It's actually like you have to have the perfect amount of apples on the tree, so the tree has enough nutrients to optimally supply each piece of fruit. If you have a tree that's fully loaded, it's going to be shit. You're going to get a lot of apples, and most of them are going to be tasteless. And that's generally what we're doing with the Liberal Party at the moment. So, we got to shake it. We got to shake all those loose apples. We got to get them out of there. Bridget Archer, on your bike. See ya. Anyways, blind loyalty to petrified opinion never yet freed human soul. Blind loyalty to petrified opinion never yet freed a human soul. I don't see. This means something within their little cult. Yeah, you have to have a base level of understanding of these things. I don't go that deep, but this guy's he's got climate crisis hashtag. Who uses hashtags anymore? And climate crisis. Okay, freelance jet. No. Andrew Gardner, I'm out of there. I like your first name. Great name. Anyways, let's get out. Let's go on. Lisa, fellow photographer, I like your style. Opposition leader Peter Dutton says Labor's voice to Parliament could override the voices of local Indigenous elders. That's what it's designed to do. It's designed to centralise power in the hands of Marcia Langton and Noel Pearson. That's it. And the people that they choose. You know, it's going to be a select group, people that agree with us. You know, thank you. No, not you. Like, go back to your mayonnaise sandwiches. Anyways, let's continue on. Nick Holt. Hi, Nick. Between 2018 to 2022, 337 successful grant applications from Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people or Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander owned or controlled organisations were funded under Section 64, Part 4 of the Aboriginal Land Rights for a total value of, holy fuck, $160 million in 4 years. $160 million 4 years. What's that? $40 million a year just in grants. What the fuck was that for? How do we get these grants, Nick? How do we get one of the grants? Alright, how do we get one of these grants, Nick? That's a good question. How do I apply for that? Can I apply for that? Or am I the wrong? Was I born the wrong color? I would hate to deny someone an opportunity based on the color of their skin. I would hate to do that. Could be dangerous. It could be a word for that. Anyways, continue on. Christopher Joy. I've never seen this guy before. New RBA analysis shows that between 15 and 17% of all Aussie borrowers are likely to experience negative cash flows as a result of rate hikes. Yeah, what do you think is going to happen? Of course, negative cash flow. Yeah, okay. That's what we're mentioning before. Scott. What's it? Scott Phillips? Yeah, he was mentioning that before as well. Oh, here we go. People wearing kangaroo furs. Oh, Jesus. Over the 3-year period, Ken White was the Minister for Indigenous Affairs. What exactly did he achieve for Indigenous people? Well, see, that's the thing. Like, these don't work. This is just basically a photo op. Like, and it doesn't matter if it's Morrison, Ken White, or Albo and Dodson. It's the same thing. It's not going to fix anything. There's real issues. This is just sideshows, people. This is just a sideshow. Oh my god, I can't even. I just see Albo in, like, wearing this hat. Okay, so I just see him wearing this hat, and all I think of is like one of those yeah, totally influencers. You know, the influenza. But yeah, I live in Europe, so I go to a lot of, I travel a bit and I go to different places, and you always see these cringe fucking influencers. And that's all I just picture. Like, I see Albo like this, and I just see him as like one of those cringe influencers who is going in there and... No, dude. It was one of his staffers told him this hat makes him look cool. Really. All right, Nick Holt back again. Gray back again. No, I can't keep covering you. Mon, where's your fucking mask, Mon? Where's your mask? Mon. There we go, Mon. Where's your mask? Stephen Koukoulas. I love Stephen Koukoulas. He's actually on our side, guys. Everyone, Stephen's on our side. He may have worked for Labor before. He may support the Labor Party. He may support everything the Labor Party does, but Stephen Koukoulas is on our side. No one else can come up with content as good as his. His analysis, actually, there are a couple. Yeah, there's a couple. Costs. But Stephen Koukoulas is on our side too, okay? Don't underestimate him. Sydney house prices are now rising at an average rate of $2,500 a week. The low was approximately 80. Well, it's working, people. Inflation's under control. Lucy Turnbull. Fucking hell. Can we cut this cancer? Shake the apples free. Shake them free. You know, this isn't even an apple. This is like some weird grafted shit. We fucking cut one branch off that was making great apples. We cut that branch off and we stuck a banana tree on there, and now we're getting these apple bananas. And it's not good. No, we've got to shake them out. Cut that branch off completely. See you, Matt Keane. Bye. Anyways, let's go in. Murray Waters. Oh, Walters. The retweeting political bias this morning is staggering. And Amy is assertively partisan opinion writer. Why is she on the ABC? Yeah, because she's assertively partisan. That's why she's on the ABC. The thing that you got to understand is that a lot of these people, okay, RN Breakfast is ABC, you know, it's going to be run by a staffer. It's going to be run by a 22-year-old blue-haired freak. But Carvelis and the other ABC, they will have an internal chat groups. They'll have their internal WhatsApp groups. They'll have their internal Twitter groups. Probably, maybe not Twitter, because they'll really be suspect that they'll get caught. But they'll have their internal groups. So this is the centipede in action. This is it. They're going to be retweeting each other. They're going to be saying, "Oh, look, I got a great article coming out. You know, this is from Lenore Taylor. I got a great think piece coming out from Lenore Taylor. These are the key points. Let's run with that." And then that's all they'll do. And then it doesn't take many. It just takes a couple near the top, like, because the NPCs, like you just need a head NPC, you know, one that's a little bit more tuned in than the others. And then the rest will follow. The rest jump in line because they know their position. That's all. That's all they have to do. And it's a well-worn machine. You know, they know how to do it. It's just a bit retarded. You know, it's a little bit. You know that? Can you remember that? I think the movie is called Multiplicity. I think it was called Multiplicity, and it was the guy, and he kept like duplicating himself. He figured out a way to duplicate himself, and every time he made a copy of himself, the copy was slightly worse and worse. That's exactly what's going on here. So it starts at the top, and by the time you get down to our level on Twitter here, oh, we're dealing with some real fucking tards. Oh boy. Okay, let's get out of here. I just know this. Here we go. Yeah, see. Noel Pearson's he's an academic, land rights activist, and Indigenous community leader. Did you mention the $100 million he wasted in Aurukun? That's a pretty big, you know, if you're going to introduce him as someone. Noel Pearson, man who tried to do what he's doing now before, but failed and now wants to do it again. That's how you introduce him. Anyways, get out of here. Let's go on. Hear him job. Okay. Former Federal Indigenous Affairs Minister Ken White has quit the Liberal Party over its opposition Telling the West Australian he no longer believes in what the Liberal Party has become. Well, that's fine. Shake them out. Shake these fucking apples out. Get them out of there. 3 builders. Lots of nice people out there we could get in there instead. What artists are the biggest examples of selling out in your opinion, and why? Yeah, I think, like, as Phil Labonte says here, I would go with Rage Against the Machine. But then again, they always were communist. Communists are gonna communist. Like, commies are gonna commie. Yeah, they're always gonna do that. You know, like they did the Black Power Fist and Che Guevara and lots of things like they always were very lefty. You know, you could just see through it though. Smooth brains don't, but yeah, you can just see through it. I think one on an Australian context, I'd say one that disappointed me was Friends of Rom. Friends of Rom, Nick, you know these guys, Nick. Friends of Rom, great punk band, and I love punk, and I love what it represents, and I love the movement, and I love the culture. I love that, the punk culture and everything like that. But then Friends of Rom just turns to like these sad woke suckasses, you know? It's kind of like the Chaser, you know, like the Chaser guys. They were funny, but then it just turns to like this cringe, like just blob of vanilla leftist shit. Like, and it's not interesting, it's not funny. And I think, like, for me, in an Australian context, Friends of Rom. But yeah, you know, they prefer just to go on ABC and tell everyone what's cool instead of actually just making music, doing what they do really well. Anyways, let's continue on. Will Kingston. Well, welcome back, bud. Everyone listen to Will's podcast. It's great. It's excellent. He lines up the best guests. He presents it really well. I love it. Yeah, anyways, so what's he saying? Vote no, Indigenous leaders. Warren Mundine are so important to this debate. They remind Australia that the Indigenous community doesn't share one brain. Well, that's what the Marxists think. The Marxists just assume everyone has... You're either with us or you're against us. There's no in between. It's black and white with them. You have to jump in line. Jump in line. Just wait for the orders to come from the top, and then you just act as everyone else acts. That's all you have to do. It's a very simple game. You don't have to think. We actually prefer if you do not think. Just go along, toe the line. Jacinta Price and Warren Mundine are essential, you know, and they're valuable voices. These are actual voices. Like, anyways, Will Kingston, I love your stuff. Keep it up. Nice work. Okay, Steve Moriarty. Want to know who the RBA cares about? It's right here. Don't say you weren't warned. Rising interest rates have put some borrowers in trouble, but the RBA says the banks will be just fine. Yeah. I don't know what we are. Oh, Miranda Devine. Stormy Daniels. Yeah. So, Stormy Daniels gets a Vogue spread, but not former model and elegant clothes horse Melania Trump. I like how, see, Miranda doesn't... Miranda's very smart. Miranda's one of the smartest women I've ever seen. But she's so smart. She slips these in and you don't really notice. But clothes horse. Because everyone knows Stormy Daniels has been called Horseface before. Okay, anyways, people. I think I'm going to get out of here for today. I'm almost done. And there's nothing happening. You got to get it. We need Lydia. We need Lydia out there. Someone team up. Mark Latham. This is what Dutton should be doing. He should be getting a roundtable discussion group town hall committee meeting with Lydia Thorpe, Mark Latham, and Keating. Get them all together and we can discuss things and release them. You know, release them out in the wild. We've got them locked up in the witness protection program. We need them out there. They add so much to our culture and so much to our national conversation that without them there, we're really just a hollow shell. So let's get the best of us to the front. Let's get Lydia, let's get Mark Latham, and let's get Keating all together. Let's get them out there dancing, people. But until then, I'll be here tomorrow morning, Monday to Friday. I open Twitter, go through it, react to your things. This week, I haven't lined up actually, I have. I got James coming back again. I'm actually thinking, James, if you're still watching at this point, I'm thinking of actually getting some drinks, and we can drink while we scroll through Twitter. I think only me and you will watch it, but it would be pretty fun. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Same time, same place. Have fun, people. Peace.
Even got you added to my leash, yeah.